everyone, it's June 20th, 2024 edition. I just bike rided to the park, bike rode to the park, because the track was being occupied by high school graduates. They're currently replaying this, practicing graduation ceremony for their parents in this white suburban neighborhood. Oh God, I'm trying to avoid people. People are everywhere. So anyways, what would I tell these young people after what I've experienced from day to day life in New Jersey? One, no one wants to hire you. Colleges want to nickel and dime you for tuition money. They're out to get you for money. No one is providing much value to you. And history repeats itself. Back then, kids were I wish I was a trust fund baby. I wish I was a trust fund baby, I wish I had rich parents. Rich people often teach their kids the best gift in life is the gift of poverty. They're not here to spoil you. They're here to teach you a lesson that life isn't about money. You can only appreciate what you have in existence if you worked for it. Because your baseline of happiness always adapts. It always goes back to homeostasis. So no matter how hard they try to spoil you or give you something out of love, the baseline of happiness just goes higher and higher. The standard just goes higher and higher. And you just keep the bar just keeps growing and growing, and the standard just keeps getting higher and higher, so you just need more and more and more money. And when you can't meet that standard anymore because of unemployment, because you didn't learn any skills, to be higher, no one wants you, and you're just low on money because you spent it all on crack cocaine, you're fucked. Some people go suicidal, or maybe you lost it all because you turned into a degenerate, a gambler, a crypto guy. Maybe you spent it all at the whorehouse, or someone grifted you, or you got married and they swindled you. Tinder swindled you, and now you have to pay all this child support money. That's what happens when you don't work for your money. You just don't know where it came from, and you're just freely spending like an asshole, and you have no consideration of the value and the time that your ancestors or your parents or your brothers and sisters put into you. You're an asshole. And so generation after generation, kids after kids, they say the same thing. I wish I was a trust fund baby, I wish I didn't have to work so hard. I wish I could be, a beautiful woman, have blonde hair, blue eyes, and big tits, and just, work for Victoria's Secret and be an OnlyFans model and be a millionaire. I mean, or winning whatever genetic lottery. Maybe you wish you were Chad or Tyrone on the football, NFL or NBA. Even then, those guys have to, practice their craft. And it's the same scenario, played in and out. The day is hot, you're sweating balls, Hard work can only get you so far. Yes, we can all be more talented, but damn, you have to be putting in the 10,000 hour rule. If you didn't pick up this by high school, then you're going to be branded as a layperson throughout the rest of your life. Not everyone gets it by the time of high school. There's no way you can be an outlier. There's no way you could be the next Michael Jordan of anything. You'll just be a background character in the Matrix. Unless you turn out to be like David Goggins and just start hauling ass after the age of 30 plus, which is rare. But, ideally, if you were to live your ideal life, you would know what you want by high school, by the age of 18, and, you can be your own Chad or Tyrone in your field. Whatever that may be. I can't tell you. Only you can tell yourself. Nor can you pay anyone. No amount of money can get you, an answer, because that is you. Everyone wished that they could just ask a fortune teller, a magic, fortune teller, to dictate their future, but, that is up to you. People are afraid of themselves, that they are their own, that they have the power inside of them. They don't need a fortune teller. They don't need a parent. They don't need a guidance counselor to tell you what the fuck to do as a career choice. You know that yourself. Only you can know that. And you can't get persuaded or swayed by anyone else other than yourself, or they'll call you a fucking idiot, a dumbass for having 2-3 degrees from college and not getting a job, which are the trending TikTok videos of how useless people's degrees are. Again, history repeats itself. High school kids are going to fall for the same quote-unquote scam, the same grift. You're going to go in there, study sociology, psychology, and whatever, underwater basket weaving. And the kids, prior 4 or 5 years before, you said the same thing. I didn't get a job. I'm angry. No one hired me except this fucking fat, bald white guy named Bart. You're so upset. You turn so, so salty about it. As though you were playing League of Legends. Salty as mother trucker. And, that level of salt and hatred for humanity doesn't go away. You spent your whole life believing in this thing, in this false god, and now, you've been stabbed in the back. You've been hit by reality. You've been struck by a smooth criminal. You just wanted social validation. You fell for the grift, going to college. Steve Jobs once said, if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what you want to do, then, work as a minimum wage, like a restaurant waiter, or a cashier until you find what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You have another scenario where the person, much like Steve Jobs, a young Steve Jobs doesn't know what he wants to do. He didn't conceptualize the idea. He wanted to invent or reinvent Apple products. And if you don't know, then you become a cookie cutter until you do know. And if you never know, then guess what? You're the ultimate peon. You become the ultimate lay person. Or, unless that is, you're a Forrest Gump and, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. I mean, you can come up with all kinds of different wording to make yourself look good for a sorry-ass situation. You're not a millionaire. You don't have much money. But you're humble. You will owe nothing but be happy. Settle for less. I'm just trying to enjoy my day. Is modern high schools supposed to get your kids the skills and knowledge for success? Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. You know, I would start throwing kids in, Wall Street, especially in the New Jersey area. I would start taking them to buses to Wall Street at a very young age and get them to, see people cold calling and sending people phishing emails, early in the morning or late at night or whatever freakish time they do it, to get people to buy shit and invest into these, these ghost companies or whatever, these scams and grifts and shit that they do all the time, these pump and dumps. And that's how they make Chad and Tyrone, senior Chad and Tyrone of the world, make money. That's all people want in the world. Otherwise, they're fucked, Welcome to working behind the counter at Starbucks. Welcome to working for customer service under Bart. I mean, what did you think this was? I don't. You think some magical, VIP service, gentleman's caller is gonna, pick you up and offer you a multi-million-dollar package just because you're a girl? I don't understand. Shit. And if you're a guy, you already know you're fucked. You have to join the military, the army, the navy, the whatever. Be an engineer, be a lawyer, a doctor, because no one's gonna spread their legs for you for free. Shit. No one's gonna do that for you. Unless your name is, on paper, Chad or Tyrone. Shit, I don't know what kind of delusion or scam you people are operating. Damn. And with that said, thousands of children are fucked. A new generation of useless ass motherfucking people. In China, they already know this. They graduated thousands of kids, all knowing the Chinese language. But the problem is, everyone knows the same thing, so everyone's, virtually the same skill level. I mean, virtually the same kind of cookie cutter person. There's a lack of diversity, no new ideas trending, coming, or being conceptualized, and everyone's the same, homogenous. No diversification. Communism. And with that, there's lack of job opportunities, lack of, different kinds of people that create companies, entrepreneurs, people that hire them, hire these 9-to-5 ant workers, hire these cookie cutter people. No one's maximizing their full potential as a human being creative, starting a new company, being a trailblazer. Everyone's just trying to, stay low key, get a 9-to-5. And so whatever, you'll just be another cookie cutter, do your cookie cutter work. There's nothing wrong with that. And just watch porn, play video games, rinse and repeat. Still, there's no solution. Maybe the grifter or a scam artist, breaks out of the trend. Maybe you have rich parents, you become a real estate agent. I'm playing different scenarios. Maybe you want to be an electrical engineer. I mean, you have to change up the game over here. And if you're a girl, then you have to be like, I got OnlyFans, I'm an Instagram model, I'm on X, not only X, but triple the X. Especially in New York City, you and your private clientele of older men, VIP services, along with Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump. Otherwise, you're just going to be a layperson, complain exactly about the same shit. I got 2 degrees, and the only guy who called was some fat white guy named Bart, and he wants me to answer customer service phone calls. Where's your OnlyFans page? Where are you on Pornhub? Where are you in the adult industry? If you want to stop complaining, then start spreading your legs, honey. I don't know what to tell you. You have to use your God-given gift. But no, you're gonna complain. You're gonna complain about the current labor market. No one wants to hire you. No one wants to give you 6 figures. Tyrone doesn't make enough money to support you. He's not gonna get married to you anytime soon after college. He's not making $200,000. The average guy is not making $200,000 a year. I can assure you that, minimum. Nor is he going to be 6 feet tall. Nor is he going to be nice to you. Okay? You can't have it all. And so you have a whole breed of useless ass motherfuckers. Prostitution should be legalized in America. People need jobs. What other skill sets or assets do you have? Real estate is too much. The only thing you could have left is selling your body. Solomon, you're an asshole. That looks low class. That seems trashy. Beggars can't be choosers. Your standards, again, too high. It's standards are too high. The reality is this. Isn't reflective of what people want. So you have a lot of people playing video games and trying to fantasize and lowball through life. VR, Apple VR, the Apple Pro, the Meta VR. That's another agenda that I guess the Illuminati or whatever the 1%ers have. The S&P 500 companies, people don't need to live real lives anymore. They just more than likely work at Best Buy or Apple at retail, making $50,000, $55,000 a year, maybe $65,000 with all the little sales bonuses and stuff and insurances that they sell. And you know what? They're going to go back home and they're going to be watching and playing their VR on their VR headset and playing the next porno game on the Steam engine, and it's just like a cheap substitute for the real thing. And they're gonna allow it, because America, that's the new standard, Meta Quest 2. Next thing they're gonna Meta Quest 3. Next thing you know, there's gonna be Meta VR. Facebook, Meta, VR headset 4, and then 5, and then 6. Sex dolls, 1, 2, 3, version 5.0. Population decline, heavy population decline. So what kind of way should you be living? The only thing I could advise you is resiliency. Build your resiliency, and the only way to do that is try to be an entrepreneur. Fail as many things you possibly can, and discover what you can or cannot do. Yeah, everyone wants to be a computer programmer, a computer engineer, an electrical engineer, whatever makes a minimum of $100,000 salary. Everyone wants to work for Google, Amazon, not as a package person, not as a fucking factory worker for $20 an hour. I mean, the real thing, making at least 6 figures. Okay? Or at least a freaking UPS driver for $120,000. No one's gonna be settling for no $20,000 job in this, Delusional. People are absolutely delusional these days. And that's exactly what some kids will be doing. I've done all these things. So I do know how it is. No one really wins. Everyone's essentially has their W-2 form, pays taxes, or they die, Kids have already died, Who's right? Who's wrong? I don't know. You're gonna die anyways. Just do whatever you can. Billionaires have died. Millionaires have died. What makes you so special? Just live your own life. They also don't care about you. Corporations don't care about you. You work there 40 years, no one's gonna throw you a party. No one's gonna do anything special for you. Elon Musk is just gonna fire your ass. Even though you slept on his in your office and woke up 4 a.m. to work another 16-hour shift only to sleep there. He doesn't give a fuck. You got your paycheck. You can leave now. He doesn't give a shit. He already has like 5, 6, 7 different baby mamas. 11, 12 kids by now or something crazy. He's got child support. He doesn't have time for your ass. He doesn't have time to socially validate your ass. But everyone's all delusional and shit. It's social validation. Maybe my daddy issues. Maybe my father will love me. Tell you the truth, he doesn't give a fuck. Unless you're his side chick. Unless you're his wife, he doesn't give a shit. But people are delusional. Maybe if she's the girl in the crowd that sleeps in his office, he's maybe one day gonna wink at her and she's gonna be smiling because she got a taste of techno Chad. Human beings are fucked up. Human beings are fucked up. You just have to look down and do your own thing, because human beings are fucked up. Life will never be fair. People will have their own things going on, and you will look at them like, why is this lazy motherfucker making 10 times as much money than me when he's just touching his penis at the park? And you'll never get it. It's not your job to get it. Your job is just do your own thing and make your own money and fill out your own goddamn W-2 form. Delusional. Remember that if it's any takeaway from this conversation, it's people are delusional and you have to be paying attention to yourself very carefully. Don't go to college just because you're going to graduate, just because you want to use up your it's tuition bet, your low income financial aid scholarship. Find out what you really want. Find out if it's in the in-demand job on the unemployment list. See if it's making at least 6 figures. Because if money is not even involved, a significant amount of money for you to reach your dreams, get your own apartment, buy your own house, start your own family, whatever the hell, then it's not worth it. You're not going to survive on $20,000-$30,000. You might as well just go to the mall and work for, be a Tesla car salesman just because you're in some like fancy, high-tech store. Or just be a salesman at Microsoft or Apple at the mall. I mean, no one's like, that's the lowest place you can be as a salesman. They're not going to hire you because you're an engineer. They're going to hire you because you're a layperson that can connect with other people and hopefully make more sales for them. Is it scary to have kids in today's modern time? Yes. Are you going to be rich? Are you going to be wealthy? Probably not. Do you want to raise the next generation of greedy ass motherfuckers? I mean, damn. When I made $100,000, I just invested the money. I didn't really enjoy it. But that was my personality. That's my personality. I don't really enjoy reality. That's like I said. I've experienced all these different kinds of things. You know, it makes no difference to me between playing a video game or living a real life. I don't seek attention. I don't seek social validation. You know, I can just post whatever I want on YouTube without any, you know, ramifications of any social consequences, because I'm someone in the world who doesn't give a fuck. Who's like a Japanese hikikomori, a Japanese salaryman, a cookie cutter. Who's gonna give a shit about Solomon Chau? I'm not David Goggins. I'm not Donald Trump. I'm not even Stormy Daniels. Although there is a Solomon Chau movie along with Jennifer Carter, All My Life. But it's not about me. It's about you. Well, that mother trucker is dead. I'm another Solomon Chau in the world. I never thought there could exist a Solomon Chau movie. But it exists. Am I delusional? No. The movie actually exists. A Solomon Chau movie about some Chinese ass guy. They spent $25 million on it, and, you know, it's an actual thing. You know, it's about some Chinese guy marrying a white girl, and he dies of cancer and shit. As for me, I just spoke the truth about life. You know, most kids are probably fucked. They're just gonna be cookie cutter people. It's unfortunate, and maybe you should just not care. I don't want to care. I don't know why my consciousness is stained like this. But, you know, obviously I'm someone who just wanted more in life. But, you know, just saw that I'm a sheeple. You know, amongst the sheeple, or the greatest of sheeples, you know, is like, you know, James Orwell, the book, you know, 1949, the one with Napoleon as the pig. You know, he's just trying to be the leader. Against the farmers. Like a David Goggins, he's just trying to break out of laziness. Just trying to separate himself amongst the normies, the cookie cutter people. And being successful about it. Otherwise, you're just gonna fade in the back. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. Most people would rather prefer to be Cypher in the Matrix, just being some random ass character in the background in the Matrix, just so they don't have to expel or use all this energy and, you know, try hard to just reserve themselves and be low key and just enjoy their steak and their wine. Most people would just be Cypher. Too much risk. Too much risk tolerance. Too much adversity to overcome. You'll own nothing and be happy. Maybe your goal is more like mine. You're just not trying to be homeless. You know, that'll make you super happy. Lower your standards. Lower expectations. You know, instead of going out with Chad, maybe you should go out with Tyrone. Maybe you should go out with Jose. You know? That child over there is very happy on his bike. He doesn't give two fucks about social validation, about education. He's just happy. It's like he has no prefrontal cortex. Maybe you're like that. Maybe you want to be like him, like SpongeBob. He's just happy. He's just happy to work. He just doesn't regret his choices. He doesn't, go through different like imaginary doomsday scenarios. Doesn't know anything about post-apocalyptic COVID housing prices or anything. He's just ignorantly happy, enjoying his steak and eggs and wine, like Cypher in the Matrix, minus the eggs part. Ignorance is bliss. Do you want to know about the inner workings of human beings? You want to draw blood like a phlebotomist? All that nasty shit coming out of people, looking like all bloody and gooey and mucus and shit stains and urine. That's what doctors, nurses, and technologists have to deal with in the hospital. You don't want to know all that shit. All the smells, all the patient information, or maybe you work in some other kind of industry. You need to know your patient's name and address and phone numbers and birthdays. And even if you're a cyber criminal, you gotta know that shit. How to address your next victim. You're just like a serial predator. To gain their trust, to socially engineer your way into their lives and then stab them in the back. All that shit takes effort. Takes effort. Takes energy. I'm just gonna go enjoy the rest of my day out here in the wilds of life. There's nothing else. There's very little else I know about this place and how people operate, how businesses are run, corporate greed, or the lack of how they run, all social validation, people's insecurities, the greed demon, the fame monster. It's always prevalent. I just choose not to pay attention to it. I just choose to be ignorant most of the time and just enjoy whatever I have. But if you want to be an outlier, it's probably not going to happen. Most of people are just lay people, Can you autistically do something for 15, 16 hours a day? And even so, everyone in China has been doing that. They still can't even find jobs. Sometimes it's just luck. Being born in the right time, being in the right place, learning the right skill sets, researching, what's in the market of supply and demand. Sometimes you just win the genetic lottery and things are easier or more in place or set up well for you. Sometimes you just have the right connections to meet the right people. Or you're just fucked. Sometimes you're just gonna be all out fucked. You're handicapped, you've got genetics, diseases, your hormones are whack, your thyroid, you got cancer. I don't know what in the actual fuck. But sometimes you're just fucked. You're in a war. I don't know. You gotta build up a resiliency. More than likely, you're fucked in one area of life or another. And if you are blessed, you may suffer from like laziness or depression and shit. There's so many nightmare scenarios. There's so many like lottery scenarios. So many different scenarios. I just choose to be ignorant. This takes too much bandwidth, mental bandwidth, emotional bandwidth. I'm just like, fuck it. Just take my walk in the park and try to enjoy whatever little time I have. It's like What can you do with money? There's a million things out there. A million things you probably shouldn't be doing than actually doing. And a lot of things are for free. You just need to breathe air, drink water, clean water, fresh water, and be on your way. Get your protein, nutrients. Be on your way. Exercise. Be on your way. You don't need all the next Gucci bag and Prada. Shit. Fuck. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.